In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review them with me.
On what?
Look at my Star Trek toys!
Wait
for the whoosh. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at My Star Trek Toys. We're not even 30 seconds in, and we're already a calamitous disaster. But you know what? That's what you're here for.
Oh, it's like my mom's here in the room with us.
If you... God. If we were looking for a professional show about Star Trek toys, there's many other options out there, but you're here for the mess. You're here for the disaster, and I'm here for it. Mike, today we are starting the beginning of Picard month here on Look at My Star Trek Toys. We have 3 consecutive episodes on Star Trek Picard custom
I
action
preferred
figures.
Christmas Picard in July. Christmas in July.
Picard, Christmas Picard. Well, whatever it is.
Oh, man. Had I thought of that earlier, we could have had the snow falling, the Christmas jingles, the whole thing.
But I told you, we're not the professional show. We are
just envision
the mess.
Picture it.
Just picture the snow. Picture the snow in your head. It's going to be great. How's it going, Mike?
It's going good, man. I've got my iced cafe, saving so much money. I got my quarks glass. Jen keeps calling them Quark, and it makes me laugh every time.
Quark!
It's good, man. I'm excited about it. I do have to jump in and watch Picard. I also have to watch this episode of the original series before we do the next. I have so much Star Trek in my life these days.
You're not allowed to watch Picard, though.
It's summertime. I had a lovely morning this morning. I played video games until 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and then I woke up and my brother's coming over to watch WWE today. I mean, I'm just living my kid. Keith, summertime as a kid, absolutely would get up, want to play with toys all day, and today I got to get up and talk about toys all day. So it is 8-year-old Mike's dream today. So let's keep it going.
Okay. Well, there you go. So the next 2 episodes, I'm just going to spotlight specific creators, specific artists who have created large lines of Picard figures. But just before I say it now, if you want to send your Picard custom figures, you can send it to lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. Also, any other custom Star Trek action figures. And we've gotten the question before. Does it have to be based on Playmates? It does not.
No.
Any Star Trek custom figures you can send to lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. We spend a lot of time on Playmates because that's the line I collect, but we are by no means limited to that. So send us your Star Trek stuff. So
do you have a bespoke line of Zoobly Zoo action figure customs? I want to see them.
Mike does, yes.
Do you remember Zoobly Zoo, Keith?
I only know about Zoobly Zoo because you keep bringing it up all the time.
Does anyone else remember Zoobly Zoo
like
and
Ben Vereen and a bunch of puppets?
There was no puppets. They were all people in costumes.
Okay, well, with that, I think we should start looking at these figures. So these are all going to be from our friend Jack at Sci-Figure Photography, Sci-Figure Photography. And we're going to begin, get ready. You're going to be overwhelmed because they sent them all at once. Here is Season 3 Next Gen cast as seen on Picard.
Cool.
So, lots going on here.
Oh, that's awesome. Look how rad they look with their little jackets and they aged up. That's awesome, Jack. Mike I haven't even seen it. All I've seen is the promo trailers and the promo shots, and I'm already jacked.
And you're not allowed to watch it. So,
okay.
You're not allowed to watch it till we finish Deep Space Nine.
Old Riker.
And you have to watch all the next gen.
Who's second from the right? Who's second from the right?
Second from the right's Data. From the right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that is not Riker at all. It is Captain Shaw.
Oh, I thought it was old Stallone.
Old Stallone. No, Captain Shaw's a great new character.
Cool,
All right,
cool,
so
cool.
from left to right, of course, we have Geordi here. Mike, do you know that Geordi is visorless
Yeah,
in the future?
obviously, because he got his eyeballs de-eyeballed.
He got new
He's
cybernetic
also
eyeballs.
he lifts, bro.
Yeah, I is that a? Did they adapt a Worf figure for that? I bet you. Is that a Worf figure?
Well, if you look at Worf all the way on the right, they do have a similar
It
stance.
does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious how he put. I feel like maybe that's an adaptation from the Generations line. Because I don't think Worf wore the baldric in the Generations figure. You know, I'm going to look that up because I'm really curious about that. So we're going to go to our friends at Wixaban.com.
All right. While Keith's doing that, I'm going to mention one of my favorite things. Everybody, viewers of the channel know that Mike loves the red on red, but Keith, there's nothing Mike loves more than black on black. Black on black is my favorite look, and a Picard black on black. I don't think we've seen that yet, and it is HOT hot.
It looks good. Yes, that is the Generations Worf. From the unused, unreleased uniforms that Playmates put the figures out for. So yes, that is 100% an adapted Worf with a Geordi head. Then next up is Data, looking good with his more human pigmented skin. Then Riker wearing the Picard again. I bet that's the All Good Things Riker head with a new paint job. Looks awesome. Picard always looking just filthy great. 7 of 9. That's a great hair sculpt. I wonder where he got the hair for that. Looks great. And then Captain Shaw. And then Worf with his jacket. That's cool. He had to sculpt on the second layer of the baldric there and the jacket. And shorter hair. That is a phenomenal line, Jack. We're going to see a little bit more of it moving forward. So let's go to our next picture here.
Hopefully, maybe.
I believe in you, Mike. I think you can do it.
What
did I say? There we go. So that is the 7 of 9 figure with the Raffi figure.
Not the children's musician. Raffi.
No. The character Raffi.
Cool.
Played by Michelle Hurd from The Practice, if you remember. In I think season 2, she was gonna date Eugene. Anyway, terrific actress, terrific figure. I really like what they did with the uniforms in season 3 of Picard, because they had strayed pretty far from the next gen, and it feels like the uniforms for season 3 of Picard, which Mike can't see yet, were what they were probably trying to do for the Generations remount, right? Where they had the wrap over that kept the basic color scheme of the next gen. And so they sort of did a wraparound next gen cuts, but with the Deep Space Nine shoulders versus the black. I think that's what they ended up doing. Looks great, very, very professional, but also feels more tied to that than some of the other future uniforms that we've seen on the show. And of course, Raffi and 7, they have a relationship that Mike doesn't know about, but very excited to see it. Great figures.
Is it an adult relationship, Keith?
It might be. It just might be. Let's move forward.
The transition there made it seem like you were afraid I was going to say something unbecoming.
But you said the unbecoming thing.
A Starfleet officer.
That's right. No, I love that. It's just a little wrinkle they put. I love it. It's great. And here we have Captain Shaw, who I was one of those characters that I was like.
He's got our beard, Keith?
He does have our beard. He is a really good salt and pepper going on there. But I really, really like that character who starts off as a raging dick.
Oh.
And then we find a way to not necessarily dislike him by the end. So great character, great performance as well, and a great figure. I think is very well represented. Again, this is all by Jack at Sight Figure Photography. Lots of good stuff. Let's keep going. What's up next, Mike?
Well, we've got Borgy Jack.
We do have Borgy Jack. Now, I can't really tell you much about any of it. I'm not going to tell you who Jack is. I'm not going to tell you whether the Borgy thing is real or whether it's just a figure.
Well, I can tell you right here, this is awesome, and you can see a lot of the custom paint taking place.
A lot of the custom paint, a lot of like adaptation of the original Borg figures, but I don't think the legs.
No, because you can tell by the paint on the bottom. I think that might be just like
that's a new custom
sculpted on leg, right?
I have no idea how we did that because that, obviously there are pieces from the original Borg figure line, but a lot of that is completely new and completely
Well, just look at
custom.
the transition part of the face, the right side of the face. That is like a really detailed mod and paint, which is so cool.
And I think that's a Kirk head adapted, but the black eyes, that is a really
that's
great
a cool one
figure. Yeah. That is a really great figure, that's just really damn cool. I gotta say,
we haven't featured from Sci-Fi Jack yet. We have.
We 100% have.
Oh, well, there's been so many, and we appreciate literally each and every one of you.
Thank you. It's really, really cool to see what comes up. All right, so now this is the full expanded line, and there's somebody new there, Mike, as well as an updated Worf. So the first one I showed was his draft 1. This is draft 2, completing the rest of the line. Who's new there?
I don't know who that is. That's what's her name? It's is that Troy from the left or
that is Dr. Crusher.
Crusher, right. Like mature Crusher.
That's right. I love that jacket. That looks great, and got the cool hair thing. And then he switched the Worf heads from to one of the later Playmates figures that he adapted into that figure. Looks even cooler.
Keith,
hard to imagine. I think the Raffi is better too. It's amazing.
This is one of those things we talk about. Each individual one of these characters is so cool, but when displayed in total on the shelf right there, that is, I'm like envy. I haven't even seen the show, and I want that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's awesome. It's so well integrated.
I can see that
the
glowing
paint
on your
jobs
shelf.
Are great. Oh my god, I really want that, but I think these are one of one. I don't think these are just Jacks, but gosh, are they cool? They look phenomenal. They're like perfectly integrated. We talk about all the time, like the ability of the artists working on these custom figures to make them fit into the 90s line seamlessly.
And there's no shine. Everyone's heard loud and clear that the matte paint is the paint.
The matte paint is the paint. But even just getting
and that looks like that super black too. That's like that what I forget what it's called, but like that. Oh, what is it called? There's a color that's like super black.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what it's called, but I tell you that is a hell of a line right there. And
dude, how cool is that Worf, man?
That Worf, it's badass. Yeah. I mean, Worf is always badass, but he just continues. The older Worf gets, the more badass he gets. It's really cool.
Sort of the direct opposite of you and I.
Right. We just get fat ass.
His testosterone is increasing, and us is just estrogen for days to come.
That's not good. All right. So we have one bonus figure, which he made just for giggles, and it makes me giggle, and that is a Klingon Borg. I mean, first off, how freaking cool is the design of that figure?
That's really cool.
And the paint job and
geometry and things happening, awesome.
Depth. The more I look at it, like zoomed in on the detail work in that, and all of those tubes, those are all he put those in custom. All those extra things. This is not just throwing a Worf head on a existing Borg figure. This is one of the Klingon figures Borgified.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The detail on that is extraordinary. But here's the fun part. So you see how his head is normal on the left and then pops up?
Yeah.
That's from a Ghostbusters figure. He just put it in there just for the hell of it.
The animated ones that their heads would pop and Egon's glasses would pop off and Venkman's mouth would go.
And somehow he built that into the figure.
That's cool.
And it said just for the hell of it, just for the 90s goodness, is why he did that.
I collected those Ghostbusters figures. I loved it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Do you still have them at all?
No, but I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia at this really cool comic shop, and they were selling them. They had a bunch, and not for too expensive, but my wife would kill me. But very cool.
Anyway, love that figure. It's, even like popping head aside, which is just really fun. That is a badass looking Borg.
Yeah, dude. It's sad we didn't see that back on our Super Borg episode because this might have won.
Like scarier and more badass than any of the Borg figures that Playmates released.
Maybe someday in the future we'll do a battle of the Borgs and we'll do a whole ranking. We'll get all the Borg customs. We'll make a face off. Yeah. Oh,
I like it. Yeah. Well, hopefully someday I'll have enough to do a whole Borg custom episode.
A smorgasbord.
So send those to lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. We'll make that happen. Mike, how else can people support us?
Keith, every week we spend time doing this. I like it when we do it towards the end so we don't bother people in the beginning. But if you stuck around, this show didn't come free and it didn't come cheap. It was made on the backs of our good friends, the patrons, the proud. And they get.
I don't know how proud they are.
Yeah, that's true. But they are the absent-minded who forget to cancel their subscription. No, you know what a lot of people do, Keith, which I really do appreciate, is they pip and pop. When they've got months where things are going well, we'll see them subscribing, and sometimes they got to bounce off for a few months. We never want anybody to be supporting the show if they're in any way having financial issues or can't do so lovingly. Anyway, they had all kinds of free stuff. I'm watching all these Star Trek shows before we talk about them. That's happening on the Patreon. We're playing video games. We're watching movies together. We're doing picnics, all kinds of fun stuff. But most importantly, you're producing the show. They are our good friends, Brian Kimber, Beersock, Wyatt Eldridge, Casey Clark, Jason Moe, Andrew Hayes, Jorge Novoa, and the Mysterious Household, Worf's Big Ol' Boot Chivs, Charles Babbage, Richard Coleman, CRM Productions, Nikolay Ivanovich, Lobachevsky, Delusions at Nude. Nude?
Oh no!
you gotta donate extra for that. Steve, welcome to the family. Brown, JD Makes, Colin Dagan, Chris Mitchell, CRM Productions, Pat, Joshua Cronin, and everybody's art we've featured. We appreciate you. You can join the team at patreon.com/KNM.
Okay. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching part 1 of the Christmas in July Picardigan style. We'll be back here next week with part 2.
Make sure you wear your ugliest Picardigan, Christmas Picardigan.
I do have my ugly Picard Christmas
Well, we'll wear them
shirt.
next week. All
right. Well, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here next week. Till then, this has been Look at My Star Trek Toys!